As the day unfolded across the Interstate 95 corridor, what began as another hot, humid summer afternoon rapidly transformed into a scene of widespread destruction and chaos. From Washington to Baltimore, through Philadelphia, and up into New York City, millions of residents found themselves in the path of a massive, fast-moving line of severe thunderstorms that would leave entire communities in the dark, disrupt transportation, and test the resilience of city services and emergency responders. In Washington, D.C., the storms arrived suddenly, carried on a wave of humid air that had built up throughout the day. Temperatures soared into the 90s, and with the oppressive humidity, it felt closer to 100 degrees at times. As the first line of storms swept through, the sky darkened ominously, and winds gusting over 60 miles per hour rattled buildings and toppled trees. At Dulles International Airport, gusts reached 66 miles per hour, while Reagan National Airport recorded similar ferocity, leading to immediate disruptions in air travel as planes were grounded and flights delayed or canceled. Firefighters in the capital responded swiftly to emergencies, including a partial collapse at a construction site caused by the gusting winds. Thankfully, no significant injuries were reported there, but the event underscored the dangerous power of the storms. Moving swiftly northeast, the same storm system hammered Baltimore. Streets became littered with branches and downed power lines as winds howled through the city. Lightning illuminated the skyline repeatedly, and rain fell in torrents, overwhelming storm drains and turning major roadways into rivers. Residents took shelter wherever they could, as warnings echoed across radio, television, and mobile alerts. Emergency services worked tirelessly to clear debris and assist those caught in the path of falling trees and flying debris. As the storms advanced into Philadelphia, their destructive force showed no signs of weakening. Winds ripped through suburban neighborhoods, toppling century-old trees and snapping utility poles. Montgomery County was hit particularly hard, with more than 48,000 customers left without electricity as the storm pushed through. In Delaware and Bucks counties, tens of thousands more found themselves in the dark. In the city itself, roughly 5,000 customers lost power as lightning strikes and wind damage compounded the impact on an already strained grid. Residents along Talleyrand Road in Westtown Township described a terrifying scene as the storm's winds twisted treetops and sent them crashing to the ground. Joseph Staroga, who has called the area home for more than a decade, recalled the moment the warning came through on his phone. He and his family rushed to shelter as the wind roared outside, grateful that their home was spared direct damage. Just a mile away, on Westbourne Road, the storm's fury ignited a house fire after a tree brought down power lines. Fire crews battled the blaze into the evening, working through challenging conditions to prevent further spread. By the time the storms reached New York City, their toll was already being felt across multiple states. Central Park became the scene of a harrowing lightning strike that injured 15-year-old Yasin Khalifa. He had taken shelter beneath a tree, waiting for the storm to pass, when lightning struck the very tree he was leaning against. Knocked unconscious for several seconds, Yasin awoke disoriented and unable to move or speak. His friends called for help, and emergency responders transported him swiftly to the hospital. Against the odds, he survived with second-degree burns but no permanent nerve damage, a reminder of the unpredictable danger lightning can pose in these storms.
Can you hear me now? She's a good suck. All right.
Throughout the evening, the storm's impact rippled through the region's transportation networks. LaGuardia, JFK, Newark, and Philadelphia airports all reported major delays, with over 9,000 flights across the country delayed or canceled due to the severe weather. The ground stop at LaGuardia was among the longest, as lightning and winds made it unsafe for airport personnel to work on the tarmac. In Wildwood, New Jersey, the Barefoot Country Music Fest was abruptly evacuated when lightning was detected within 8 miles of the festival grounds. Organizers urged attendees to seek shelter immediately, cutting short what had been an evening of music and celebration. In Maryland, a dramatic scene unfolded in Bethesda, where a large tree fell onto a power pole, sending it crashing down onto a parked truck. The impact ignited a fire that consumed the vehicle within minutes. Witnesses described a sudden blaze that grew rapidly, as electrical sparks ignited combustible materials inside the truck. Fortunately, no one was inside at the time, and firefighters brought the fire under control. Throughout Pennsylvania, tornado warnings were issued for Chester County, Delaware County, and Newcastle County in Delaware, as radar indicated rotation in several storm cells. While no confirmed tornadoes touched down in these areas, the straight-line winds caused damage consistent with a tornado in some neighborhoods. The storm brought down trees, damaged roofs, and scattered debris across roadways, making travel hazardous well into the night. This severe weather outbreak was part of a much larger system that originated in the Midwest. A derecho, a long-lived, fast-moving windstorm, had already carved a path of destruction across nearly 600 miles from Illinois to Pennsylvania, bringing with it reports of tornadoes in Missouri, Illinois, and Michigan. The energy from that system continued to fuel the violent thunderstorms that pummeled the East Coast. As Friday dawned, residents across the region awoke to clearer skies but a sobering view of the storm's aftermath. Utility crews worked through the night to restore power, with hundreds of thousands of customers still waiting for electricity. Emergency responders cleared roads of fallen trees and debris, and neighbors came together to assist one another in the cleanup. Despite the widespread damage, communities demonstrated remarkable resilience, banding together to begin the long process of recovery.
Man, look at this shit. Feel like a tornado about to hit. Cable went. Oh, yeah. Might lose power, this motherfucker.
Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.